This afternoon, I'm welcoming Charley Young from the United States. She's a singer and she's an actress, and also she's a swimming champion, I can say.
Yes.
And she's multi-talented. I think it's better to let her speak about herself. How are you, Charley? Good morning to you and good afternoon here.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Sherif, for having me. It's an honor to be here and to be interviewed by you. And I really appreciate you reaching out. Yes, good afternoon. I love how I am very fortunate because a lot of my fans and friends are across the world. So it's always exciting to, be here in the morning and then it's afternoon where you are. So thank you again for having me.
So, Charlie, I've been looking to your YouTube channel. We will be sharing your website and your YouTube channel in our YouTube channel and website as well. But I was watching some of your music videos and as well your show reel on the Internet Movie Database. And I saw an interview with you, like you were in the middle of a swimming championship. And
Yeah.
then the anchor lady, asked you to think, and I think you were losing your breath, correct?
Yeah, yeah, because it that was fun because it's kind of funny how life works because Misty Hyman, the Olympic gold medalist, who was one of my idols growing up, because she swam my event and won the gold medal in the event I compete in. She interviewed me and she was so nice, and it was the exact opposite of what you think will happen. Your hero's interviewing you, and she asked me to sing right after I'd swum, 100 meters of butterfly. So I was a little bit tired. Yeah.
And I think you sing a part of I think all the jazz or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I sang. Yeah.
I noticed that your name appeared as Mary, so Charlie is like an artistic name, or it is your middle name.
Yeah, so actually, Charlie was my great grandfather's name, and my mom knew I was going to be a boy. She just knew it. And the doctors were like, no, you had a baby girl. And, she had called me Charlie all throughout her pregnancy. And she just really liked that name. And my grandmother decided that I was going to be called Charlie, but my legal name is Mary Charlene, but nobody ever calls me that unless it's somebody who doesn't know me or something like that. So everybody in my family and friends and everywhere else calls me Charlie. So it kind of stuck from even before I was born.
Yeah, and tell me, did you start by studying singing or acting or both?
Yeah, so I was always had my hand in music. My grandfather, my mom's dad, he and I would, he would play guitar and I would sing with him. And I was part of a musical theater group growing up from like the age of 11 all the way up until 18. I got to sing in the White House here in the United States, the Austrian Embassy here in the US, some cruise lines. And but at the same time, doing that musical theater, I was studying acting. So I've done both for the majority of my life. And when I went to college, I studied more acting, but I still sang the national anthem at every swim meet in college, and I still kept my hands in both worlds.
Yes,
Yeah.
and right now I saw some of your music videos today. I saw Hold the Moon, I saw Your Fire, I saw Florida Keys, huh?
Cool.
And
Yeah.
you have some of them remixed as well with different remixes. Um, and really, it threw me back a little bit to my teenage years, when I used to listen to Madonna and Cyndi Lauper, I was
Yeah.
that I was from that generation, you know.
Yeah.
So, but really tell me, how do you define your music style? It is pop, we can say it is.
Yeah. It's always interesting. I was telling this to I actually had another interview last night too, which was cool. I was like, "Yay, we're just doing a bunch of interviews lately," and I was telling them, I feel like when you are a female musician, no matter what genre music you do, you always, because of your gender, you automatically kind of get thrown into the pop category. So even if you're a country singer, it's like pop country, pop rock, whatever it is. But for me, how I define my music, Sherif, is I call it synth pop because, as you rightfully picked up, my inspirations are from the 80s and 90s. I grew up, even though it wasn't my, era of music that I grew up with, my mom and and her cassette collection, in her car was what really inspired me. And just even today, listening to the difference in the music between that era and today, I really find it just kind of speaks to me a little bit more, even though, like I said, it's not my generation of music. It just, so I go and say that I am a synth pop singer. So synth, because synthesizers are a big part of my music, as they were a big part of music in the 80s and 90s that you grew up with. So that's how I define myself. So synth pop music is what I do.
When you say synthesizers, I remember Depeche Mode immediately.
It's my favorite band. Yeah.
Yes, Depeche Mode, Duran Duran, and the two
Yes.
albums by Power Station,
Yeah.
like them very much, It's until now I listen to this stuff, I'm more connected to this stuff, you know. But when we speak about music and right now. In the old days, there were the records, then the CDs, and then right now everything is streaming, and yourself, you have a
Yes.
YouTube channel, and
Hmm.
on your website, I see that your music are on Spotify, on SoundCloud, and
Yes.
two other, music service, So,
Yes.
so right now, tell me how an artist right now, like yourself as a musician and singer, promote yourself, you know?
How I do what? I'm sorry, what was the last
How do
part?
you promote yourself?
How do I promote myself?
Yeah,
Well, I promote myself, like you said, as an artist in this day and age, it's really important to kind of be everywhere, right? It's really important to be on news sites. So, like you said, I really, anytime I see a new platform or I'm introduced to one or people message me about one, I do my best to get on it and to take every opportunity, because the great thing about being in this era we're in is through the internet, we can connect with people who are in our towns, in our countries, and like you're not, you're across the world.
yeah,
And that's really great. But the thing is you have to somehow wade through all the other people who are also trying to get their music out, also trying to put out their content and really find your audience. So what I try to do is make sure I have a presence on every single platform, and then really after a while, you kind of find which platforms are getting the best response or the most response, or where people are really engaged, and then you really focus on those. Still stay on the other ones, but really focus on the ones where you're getting the feedback.
yes,
So
yes. But right now, I think, uh, how do you measure the success of a singer right now? Are the charts are really good measurement right now, or the viewership on YouTube or the fans on Spotify and stuff. How do you measure right now your success?
Yeah, that's, that's a great question. I think for somebody who's in my position, I'm trying to do music that's not necessarily, I've always wanted to do music that speaks to me and that I can feel strongly about and be behind and support 100%. And for an artist like me, as a result, being on the charts is not really my focus. If you look at, like my main influences like Depeche Mode and other bands from the 80s, they had some chart success, but not to the extent that other artists did. And in this day and age, I think it's kind of a conglomeration of factors that you look at. I think a steady increase in Spotify listeners. I think a steady increase in both subscribers and views of your videos. And I think, looking at the number of streams. But at the end of the day, for me, the most rewarding thing I get being a musician, and this sounds so silly or corny, but the most rewarding thing that makes me feel like a success is beyond these numbers is having an individual, a human actually send me a message, taking time out of their day and saying, hey, I listened to your music. It helped me through a rough spot in my life, or hey, your music really spoke to me and helped me have a better day. For me, that's the measure of success. So growing your numbers, right, in a more logical way, but for me, as an artist, it's about making an impact. So as my numbers, steadily grow, getting those messages is how I measure my success,
Good.
honestly.
Yes, and tell me very fast right now about your collaborator who is writing and composing the music with you and for you. Do you contribute yourself to the your music?
Yes. Yes. So it's very interesting, Sharif. I have a few different ways that I work. So in essence, each song that you've listened to is a little bit different. So in the instance of Florida Keys that you mentioned, I met Seth Duncan. I met him on Twitter, and he already had a track composed, like the instrumentals, and he gave it to me to write. So I wrote the melody and the lyrics, okay? Other songs like Hold the Moon, they were actually given to me to sing. I was presented the song. Do you like the song? I said yes, and I recorded it. And then if you listen to other songs like Fiery Storm, or I have some other new songs coming out as well. They are kind of songs that I have. Fiery Storm was also written with a producer having a background track, but some of the new songs you're going to be hearing from me soon, it's, hey, I have an idea. Can you help me bring it to life? So there's really three methods of working on music that I do. I hope that makes sense.
Great. And tell me about shooting your music videos right now. It's also a competitive medium, music video.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, you know, Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. No, I was saying it's a competitive medium, music videos right now, and each time you must find a new style, new look. I think new location. Because I saw one of the music video only used like CGI or computer graphics. You don't appear, and
Yes.
sometimes they are shot across the sea. I know you like water. So,
Yes. Yes.
so
Very much, right?
tell me about the music videos director. How do
Yeah.
you connect with them? Mm.
Yeah. So, I've been very fortunate to work with some great music video directors. My first two music videos were done with one of my classmates from acting school, Summer is Mine and Phoenix Rising, and we shot both of those in New York City. Now, I have a longtime collaborator that I have been working with ever since undergraduate. And she actually, I'm very, very lucky. She went to the number one school in the world for film. Okay. And they take 28 people a year for the program that she went to. So she's incredibly talented. And it's really, she and I always come together and talk about what she's seeing and what she's hearing. And very oftentimes, because we've been working together for over 10 years, like not just on these music videos, but just also we've done a lot of short films together. She and I both really understand each other and have a very intuitive and in tune connection. And it's funny you mentioned that, because a couple things, we're up for a couple awards right now for Hold the Moon. So, you know, fingers crossed. And then we're also, Sherif, we are about to go shoot 2 new music videos in about a month. So we've, you're gonna see some also, like you said, very different stuff. So again, I'm very fortunate because both for music and for music videos, I have some really talented collaborators, because it's always important as an artist to keep your mind open and to have other people besides yourself on your team. Very important. You can't do it by yourself.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
So right now I've seen on the film scene, you realized like you've been part of 2 short films here.
Yeah, those are, well, I've been a part of a lot. I've been a part of more.
Uh-huh.
But as far as like what's been on the festival circuit, yes. I think there's a couple projects I worked on within the past couple of years that are still in a post-production kind of capacity. I'm not sure where they are exactly, but yes. I was in most recently a great film called Son of Blackbeard, and it's kind of a comedic take on the pirate Blackbeard, um, and so that's been in festivals around the United States, and we actually won a best acting ensemble award at one of the festivals, which was cool. And then yes, the other one, Suicide Kids. There's a couple versions of that we've done that are going to different festivals. So that's been exciting. And, you know, my music video director and I are talking about, in addition to doing music videos, doing a couple film projects. So hopefully we'll get some going here soon.
Yes. Do you dream of making some kind of film that brings all your talent together? You know, like music and acting, and maybe as well doing some swimming stunts. You know, I don't know.
You know, I think that's great. You know, that's funny you say that, because I actually have a master's degree in screenwriting as well. It's like I do everything, right? But and I've written a script that is about a swimmer. It's semi autobiographical. It's about a swimmer who's struggling with an issue. Now, I was struggling with an eating disorder for many years. I had anorexia. I'm in a good spot now, but in my story, she's struggling with something else. So I do have some ideas, but I don't think that part has swimming. I mean, has singing in it. So I'll have to get her to sing on some capacity. But I've thought about it. I've thought about it, but not because I want to, but a lot of times they just end up just being kind of in their different categories. Although, as you noted, a lot of my music videos have water in them. So we're trying to get everything in there. So, yeah.
Yes, but maybe you could sing some songs in the film, and they can be in the soundtrack. You don't need to appear singing on in the film, only
Oh, good point.
in the title credits maybe, or the starting credits. But really, tell me, what did you do during the lockdown, the last 6 months?
Yeah. Well, so I am usually in New York City, Sharif, as you know. And I've actually been, you can tell it's quite sunny where I am, and there's a palm tree behind me. So
Yes.
I am actually in Florida. So I was born in California and I grew up in Florida. And so I've been with my parents since the pandemic started, because as you are aware, New York City got hit very hard by the pandemic. So before it got locked down in New York, I came down to Florida, and I have been very fortunate because I've been doing some live streams with my band And I have another one coming up on September 12th. Like I said, I'm been planning 2 music videos. They're going to be shot in October, and we're all going to be following COVID-19 protocol. And also, I'm releasing a new song September 25th, and I've also recorded 2 songs and written a couple more that need to be recorded. So I've been staying quite busy and been doing some auditions as well. So yeah, I've been very fortunate to stay healthy and to stay busy. So that's what I've been doing. And again, everything in a very safe, environment. And even when I'm recording the songs, it's me and one other person, and we have social distance. So yeah.
Yes, I've been in Miami once. I have some friends there, and I met a lot of filmmakers who would like to create an industry, to create like an environment, similar to Hollywood and California and New York. So I think we'll be seeing a lot of new rising filmmakers from Miami and Florida.
Yeah.
And as well, I wanted to ask you, you did the streaming of your songs on which platform? Facebook, YouTube, or
For the live streams,
yeah.
I did one of them on, I did one on May 15th, actually, to benefit women, actually everybody, but survivors of domestic violence and abuse, sexual assault. And we did that because during the lockdown, unfortunately, a lot of people were having to stay with abusive partners or in abusive situations. And we did that one on Facebook. And the one on September 12th, we're still kind of deciding if we're going to do Facebook again or do Instagram. I think my audience is slightly bigger on Instagram, so we're still figuring that out. It'd be nice. I think there's a way to do multi-platforms. I've got to do my research on that. So,
Yes,
but
yes.
yeah.
There is a software you can stream on everything at once, by the way.
Oh, what is it called?
I will look it up and send it to you. I have it on my
Great.
bookmark.
Great. No,
Yes.
perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
Please. I'm
uh,
always
the software you can
open.
stream only one camera and one audio source, and you can stream
Uh-huh.
everywhere.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, I want to thank you very much for this interview. It's a great pleasure talking to you, and
Thank
I'm very
you.
happy that I discovered your music and spoke about it, and also about your upcoming projects. I wish you all the best, and I think next year will be better for everybody. I
Yes.
hope so.
Yes. Me
So
too.
let's keep in touch for your new projects, and we hear
Yes.
from you soon. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much, Sherif. I appreciate your time, the opportunity, and for having me be a part of your ongoing creative projects too. So thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Have a good day.
All right. You too, Sherif. Thank you. Bye-bye.